The tale of Roland the Minstrel, a voice of fortune and danger. Imagine wandering through medieval Europe, where gold is scarce, debts are high, and entertainment is the only currency that can save you. But what if your life depended on the next song you sang? What if a single mistake meant prison, or worse? This is the story of Roland the Minstrel, a man whose voice earned him fortune and almost cost him his head. Stay with me till the end, because this tale has more twists than a royal banquet's feast. Roland was no ordinary minstrel. He wasn't just a singer, he was a survivor. With nothing but a lute, a sharp wit, and a debt larger than a king's appetite, he traveled from castle to village, earning just enough to keep the debt collectors off his back. But how did a simple musician end up owing so much money? Well, let's just say he had a little problem with dice. It all started one fateful night in a dimly lit tavern. Roland had just finished a performance, earning a hefty bag of coins. Feeling victorious, he sat down to a friendly game of dice. Just one round, he told himself, just for fun. But the dice had other plans. The more he lost, the more he bet, until, poof, his entire earnings vanished like a puff of smoke. And worse, he now owed money to Hugo the Horrible, a man whose idea of reminder involved breaking kneecaps. With sunrise creeping in and Hugo's men sniffing around, Roland did what he did best. He ran. His only chance? To reach the next noble's castle and perform before Hugo's thugs found him. But fate, as always, had a twisted sense of humor. On the way, his horse threw a shoe, his lute string snapped, and to top it off, it started raining. Now tell me, have you ever had a day where everything goes wrong? Soaked and desperate, Roland finally reached the castle of Duke Bernard. The Duke was known for his love of music and his suspicious nature. One wrong move, and Roland could end up in the dungeon. But our minstrel was nothing if not resourceful. He pulled out his lute, adjusted his torn cloak, and took a deep breath. If I can make the Duke laugh, I might just live to see another day, he thought. And so he began to sing, a hilarious tune about a noble who lost his wig during battle. The entire court roared with laughter, except for one man, the bald Duke himself. Uh-oh. Silence filled the room. Roland braced for the worst. But then, the Duke smirked. "Bold of you to joke about a bald noble," he said. "I like it. You amuse me, minstrel. But tell me, why are you really here?" Roland gulped. This was it, the moment of truth. He knelt and confessed his debt, spinning a tale so tragic and exaggerated that even the Duke's pet hound seemed to weep. The Duke laughed again and declared, "I shall pay your debt, if you entertain me for a month." Roland, of course, agreed. It was better than Hugo's alternative. But just when things seemed safe, a loud voice echoed through the hall. "Roland, where's my money?" Hugo the Horrible had arrived. Roland's heart nearly stopped. He turned to the Duke, who stroked his beard thoughtfully. "A duel of wits," the Duke declared. "If Roland can outsmart Hugo, he stays. If not, well, I hear dungeons are quite cozy this time of year." Roland had one shot. He challenged Hugo to a game of riddles. If Roland won, his debt would be forgiven. If Hugo won, he could take whatever he wanted. The thug agreed. The first riddle was simple. Hugo got it. The second was tricky. Hugo barely managed. But the third? Oh, the third was a classic minstrel's trick. What has ears but cannot hear? What has a mouth but cannot speak? Hugo scratched his head. He sweated. He growled. But he couldn't answer. "A jug!" Roland shouted victoriously. The Duke clapped, and Hugo stomped away, defeated. Roland had won his freedom and learned a valuable lesson. Never bet against the odds, and always have a backup plan. He spent the next month entertaining the Duke, eating like a king, and earning enough gold to finally clear his debts. And so, with a full purse and an even fuller belly, he rode into the sunset, probably towards another adventure, another song, and maybe, just maybe, another gamble. So what do you think? Would you trust a clever minstrel like Roland, or would you keep your gold far away from his dice? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible stories from history.